Part 46. As long as I stay in the Empress Palace, I am invincible. Author, New Did. Chapter 451. Everyone, please tell the other strong men in the Palace of Life and Death, if the Palace of Life and Death allows strong men from other forces to mix in, I will kill them directly first. Ye Chen said as he waved his hand and slashed out a sword energy. One of the top glazed warriors was cut in half by Ye Chen's sword energy. A bronze god of war token exploded. Ye Chen raised his hand and sucked, and the bronze level god of war token was in Ye Chen's hand. By the way, I am purchasing a higher level god of war token. If there is a god of war token of this level, please contact me. The benefits I have given you will definitely not disappoint you. Ye Chen smiled and said, everyone who has a god of war token of this level should hurry up. If I already have it, I won't take it anymore. After saying that, Ye Chen collected the remaining strong men in the Palace of Life and Death. Ye Chen didn't collect that body. He is indeed a strong man in the Palace of Life and Death. It's Master Gitong. He himself has twice the strength of the top glazed realm. After the bronze token is increased, he has 8 times the strength of the top glazed realm. I didn't expect that he would be caught with such strength. What kind of strength does Ye Chen have? Many powerful people talked about it. The news spread from here at an extremely fast speed. Half an hour later, the powerful man from the Palace of Life and Death arrived here cautiously. The body was taken away. Ye Chen is far away now. Half a day later, Ye Chen arrived at Zi Lanyan's side. After her increase, her strength was 4 times that of the top glazed realm, and the paradise of death was so large that she was not discovered by the strong men of the Palace of Life and Death. Husband, I felt a little palpitated before. Did something happen? Zi Lanyan asked. Ye Chen took a deep breath and said, Qian was surrounded and killed by the powerful men from the Palace of Life and Death, and she blew herself up and died. But don't worry, it won't take long for Qian to be resurrected. Originally, it would take hundreds of years for Lu Qian to be resurrected. Now that the Immortal Soul Tower has reached the 3-star immortal level, it will only take 3 to 5 years for Lu Qian to be resurrected. If Ye Chen provides power to the Immortal Soul Tower, the time can be shorter. Captured a large number of strong men from the Palace of Life and Death, and there are many good things in their space treasures. Ye Chen has already provided a large amount of treasures to the immortal god Tati. The time required for Lu Qinqin's resurrection can be shortened 10 times. Lu Qian should be able to come back to life in 3 to 5 months. That's good. Zi Lanyan breathed a sigh of relief. The way she looked at Ye Chen, Lu Qinqin's resurrection shouldn't be a big problem. Lanyan, you and Lan chat first. I'll go back to the place where Qinqin's accident happened. Yanner may go there after getting the news. After another long day, Ye Chen arrived at the area where Lu Qian blew himself up. There are no strong people here in the Palace of Life and Death. There were many strong men from the Palace of Life and Death who got the news, but in just one day, it was impossible for many strong men from the Palace of Life and Death to rush over. There are few people and Ye Chen has to take care of him. Yanner. Ye Chen sent out the message. The subpoena was not successful, and Shang Guanyan was not here at this time. But Shang Guanyan has indeed received the news here, and she is rushing here. She already has 10 times the strength of the top glazed realm, and she also got a black iron token, which doubled her strength and made her very fast. Owner. Half a day after Ye Chen arrived, Shang Guanyan's voice suddenly sounded in Ye Chen's mind. She had already arrived here. Yanner. Ye Chen breathed a sigh of relief. Nothing could happen to Shang Guanyan. Shang Guanyan has an immortal level of cultivation. She will not die, but it will take billions and tens of billions of years to recover naturally. Use the Eternal Soul Tower to recover her. Because she is strong, recovery is much more difficult and takes dozens of times longer. Even if a huge amount of resources are consumed, Xuanhuan will not be able to recover within 30 to 50 years. Master, and Lan Yin. Xuanhuan quickly arrived at the Brahma ring. Master, I heard about Qian, please don't be too sad. Qian can be resurrected. Xuanhuan consoled him. Chen nodded, don't worry, there's nothing wrong with me. Qian can recover in 3 to 5 months. Yan'er, do you own the Black Iron God of War token? Xuanhuan nodded, Master, I got 2 pieces. I used 1 piece and now I have another piece on me. A bronze level God of War token appeared in Yechen's hand. You use this. Yechen ordered. The bronze level God of War token increases 3 times, which can make Shangguangxian's strength reach 40 times the level of the top glazed realm. With such strength, Xuanhuan, the powerful man with the purple gold God of War order in the Palace of Life and Death, is not afraid. The Palace of Life and Death has immortal level experts, but they are usually not in the sect. Nowadays, there are no immortal level experts entering the Paradise of Death. Also, the masters of the Palace of Life and Death cannot know the situation in the Paradise of Death now. The Death Paradise will be opened for 3 years each time. If a large number of strong people enter, the Death Paradise will be closed. Unblocked every year. Only during this period can the masters of the Hall of Life and Death know the situation in the Paradise of Death. If you want to send strong men into the Paradise of Death, you can. Master, where are Lan and the others? Xuanhuan looked at Lanxiu and the others and said. Yechen smiled and said, the next task for the 2 of them is to practice, and the task for the 2 of us is to work. With that said, Yechen took out 6 1-star immortal chaos pills. 2 for each of you. Yan'er, you eat it too, it can improve your strength a little bit. Onlan, your strength should be improved a lot. Lanyan, you have already reached the top level of Liulai realm, maybe you can break through. Yechen said with a smile. Zi Lanyan had eaten the immortal level enlightenment pill before, and now her skills are also immortal level. If she eats 2 immortal level chaos pills, it is not surprising that she breaks through to the immortal level. Hanjian Palace now has 3 immortal levels. Zi Lanyan's conditions are actually much better than Xuanhuan's before. But whether you can break through to the immortal level depends on fate. Master, I won't eat now. I'll work first. Xuanhuan said. Yechen shook his head, you have the immortal level of cultivation, and the speed of digesting the immortal level chaos pill is fast under time acceleration. Hurry up. My strength is completely enough to deal with it now. Xuanhuan nodded. Soon, all 3 women practiced. Yechen arrived outside the Brahma ring, and he began to search for and capture the strong men of the Life and Death Hall. At the same time, Yechen also looked for the God of War token. Yechen no longer needed the Iron level God of War token, but he needed the Bronze level and higher level God of War token. 2 months passed in a blink of an eye, and Yechen got 2 Bronze level God of War tokens, and the Silver level God of War token has not been found yet. Yechen captured many of the strong men of the Life and Death Hall alive. There were also 8 top-level Liulai realm strong men who were captured. 24 had been dealt with before, and with these 8, 1/3 of the top strong men of the Life and Death Hall inside had been killed. Boom! Inside the Brahma ring, in the Hanjian Palace, Zi Lanyan's body suddenly burst out with an extremely terrifying aura. She broke through. Her cultivation level was relatively smoothly promoted from the top Liulai realm to the immortal level. Husband, I broke through. I reached the immortal level. Zi Lanyan's extremely surprised voice sounded in Yechen's mind. Yechen was amazed. Zi Lanyan's luck is really good. He unexpectedly broke through to the immortal level so quickly. As long as I stay in the Empress Palace, I am invincible. Author, New Di. Chapter 452. Lanyan, You should seize the time to consolidate your cultivation. Ye Chen said with a smile. His two women have broken through to the immortal level one after another, and Ye Chen is naturally happy. It would be better if I could break through to the immortal level earlier. Before he broke through to the immortal level, his strength was really inferior to Zi Lanyan and Xuanhuan. After all, there is a tenfold difference between the top glazed realm and the immortal realm. Good husband. Husband, when I make a breakthrough, Sister Yanner and I will work, and you can practice with peace of mind. Zi Lanyan said via voice transmission. A few days passed. Under the acceleration of time a million times, Zi Lanyan has consolidated his cultivation. She has also refined a bronze-level god of war token. Before her breakthrough, she was stronger than Xuanhuan. Now Zi Lanyan's strength surpasses Xuanhuan. Xuanhuan is about 45 times the strength of the top glazed realm. Zi Lanyan directly reached 50 times the strength of the top Liulai realm. Husband, I have consolidated my cultivation. Husband, you should practice first. Zi Lanyan finished her training and came to Ye Chen and said. Ye Chen still has two 2-star immortal chaos pills that he has not used. Entering the time cube, Ye Chen swallowed a chaos pill. Then lie down and rest. He doesn't need to practice at all. The system can be idle to practice, which is much better than his own practice. I hope I can break through. Both wives are stronger than me. Ye Chen thought in his heart. He has accumulated enough. His skills, bloodline, and physique are all at the immortal level, and he has several immortal level treasures. I have taken several immortality pills. Under normal circumstances, he would have already broken through to the immortal level. That is to say, he is thinking about Luo Hongjian in his heart, otherwise Ye Chen would have made a breakthrough long ago. System, contact the beauty once. Ye Chen said in his mind. After some time, he asked the system to contact Luo Hongjian. In total, we have been contacted 20 or 30 times. Contact has failed since then. Host, contact successful. Suddenly, the system's voice sounded in Ye Chen's mind. Ye Chen's eyes lit up. Hongjian, how are you now? Where are you in Hongmeng universe? Ye Chen spoke immediately. His voice sounded in Luo Hongjian's mind. Luo Hongjian is currently practicing in seclusion. Ye Chen's voice sounded, and Luo Hongjian immediately opened her eyes. There was surprise in her eyes. Husband, I am fine now. I practice in the master's cave. The master is a woman. My master is Shuiyu Tianzun, and I am in the Shuiyu secret world. Husband, I miss you so much. Luo Hongjian's voice sounded in Ye Chen's mind. Ye Chen's worry has decreased a lot, and his thoughts have increased a lot. Hongjian, we are all very good. Yanner has reached the immortal level, and Enlan and the others have also reached the top glazed level. I am now, at the top level of glazed glass realm. Ye Chen sent a message saying that he was reporting good news but not bad news. Something happened to Lu Qianqian, but Ye Chen didn't tell Luo Hongjian. Husband, my master is an immortal level strongman. I don't know how strong he is specifically, but it should be no less than a 3-star immortal level. I have reached the glazed realm level now, but I haven't reached the top glazed realm yet. Luo Hongjian said in a message. Her situation is actually the same as Ye Chen's. She is also worried about Ye Chen and the others, so her training speed is not particularly fast. In addition, she did not receive as many resources as in Langxiu and the others. Therefore, although Luo Hongjian is in the Supreme Universe, Luo Hongjian's current cultivation level is still a little lower. Beauty. Ye Chen wanted to say something more, but the contact was interrupted again. System, what's going on? Host, normal situation. The distance is far away, and the contact will be affected by various factors. It is normal for us to be unable to contact you. If you contact me, you'll win. Ye Chen rolled his eyes secretly. That's all, the beauty is pretty good now anyway. Ye Chen said in his mind. Luo Hongjian already has the cultivation level of Liyulai realm, which is pretty good. What's more important is that her master has at least 3-star immortal strength, and should be a big boss in Hongmen universe. Now that I have broken through to the immortal level, it should be much easier. Ye Chen secretly thought. After successfully contacting Luo Hongjian, Ye Chen's worries about Luo Hongjian were greatly reduced. In this case, with his accumulation and the current use of the 2-star immortal chaos pill, there is more than 60% chance of a breakthrough. Time passes day by day. A large number of strong men gathered in the Palace of Life and Death. The dispersed operation suffered heavy losses. Their plan was to gather together and survive for a year, then contact the outside world. Let the sect bring in more strong men. We should be safe now. I didn't expect Ye Chen and the others to be so strong. Someone among Ye Chen and others should have reached the immortal level. Many powerful people gathered in the Palace of Life and Death were talking about it. They judged that Ye Chen had reached the immortal level. With 10 times the strength of the top glazed realm, and 3 times the strength, it is not surprising that their people were lost in Ye Chen's hands. How could the powerful men in the Palace of Life and Death know that Ye Chen is not yet at the immortal level, and Xuanhuan and Zi Lanyan have arrived? 2 months passed. Ye Chen had already used 2 2-star immortal chaos pills. His talent has improved a lot. Ye Chen's eyes lit up, he finally sensed the opportunity for a breakthrough. System AFK training, since the opportunity for a breakthrough has come, it is impossible to miss it. Half a day passed. Boom. Ye Chen exuded an extremely powerful aura. The aura he burst out when he broke through was several times stronger than the aura that Zi Lanyan and the others broke through when they broke through. Shang Guanyan and Zi Lanyan, although they practiced immortal level skills, they actually did not have powerful immortal level treasures. Ye Chen is different. His skills, blood, physique, treasures, etc. have all reached the immortal level, even 2-star immortal, 3-star immortal. Ye Chen's breakthrough, like the 4 swords of Zhu Xian, is even more powerful. Ye Chen now has 9 times the strength of the top Liyulai realm. After the breakthrough, not to mention a 10-fold increase in strength, there is definitely no problem in increasing it 5 times. He has 50 times the strength of the top Liyulai realm level. Bronze level God of War token, amplified 3 times. Ye Chen's strength can soar to 200 times the top level of Liyulai realm. Finally broke through. Is this the immortal level? Ye Chen smiled. Shang Guanyan and Zi Lanyan's strength exceeded his, and Ye Chen was still a little sad in his heart, but now he finally didn't have to be sad anymore. A few days later, under the million-fold time acceleration, Ye Chen had consolidated his cultivation. It's time to deal with the strong men in the life and death hall here. Ye Chen's eyes flashed. He, Shang Guanyan, and Zi Lanyan all have immortal level cultivation, so there should be no problem in dealing with the strong men in the life and death hall in the death paradise. After asking around, Ye Chen soon found out where the rest of the strong men in the life and death hall are now gathered. The strong men in the life and death hall hope that the other forces will give them the top war god tokens and announce their locations. Moreover, the strong men in the life and death hall don't think that Ye Chen and his men are stronger. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. As long as I stay in the Empress Palace, I am invincible. Author, New Did. Chapter 453. After a breakthrough in cultivation, Ye Chen has 200 times the strength of the top Liyulai realm after a 3-fold increase. Super fast. In about half a day, Ye Chen has arrived at the area where the strong men of the life and death hall gather. There are more than 60 top Liuli realm strong men in the life and death hall. Hundreds of ordinary Liuli realm strong men. Thousands of Bianhu level strong men. Most of the life and death hall strong men have gathered here. Through transactions with the strong men of other forces, the top Liuli realm strong men among them all have the God of War token. More than 10 have bronze level God of War tokens. One of them has already obtained a silver level God of War token. The strong man with the silver level God of War token is called Joseph Love, the second elder of the life and death hall, and he is strong in himself. Joseph Love's cultivation at the top Liuli realm level, his combat power reaches 4 times the top Liuli realm level, which is quite powerful. His strength increased 5-fold, reaching more than 20 times the top Liuli realm level. Fellow deists, when the year is up, more strong men from our life and death hall will enter, and Yechen and his men will surely die. I don't need your help for now, but you still have to contribute when the time comes. Yaslov and the strong men from other forces said. Of course. No problem. As long as the life and death hall asks us to help, we will definitely help. The strong men from other forces spoke up one after another. Whether it was Joe's Love or the strong men from other forces, they didn't think that Yechen and his men would be the opponents of the life and death hall. Yechen was able to be arrogant here, so he must have broken through to the immortal level. The life and death hall has strong men at the immortal level. Although they are not usually in the life and death hall, there are treasures left in the life and death hall that can target the immortal level strong men. Everyone, regarding the God of War token, I have to trouble you and the deists from other forces to work harder. We in the life and death hall will not treat you unfairly. Yaslov smiled. The next second, Yechen's consciousness swept over. Yaslov's face changed. The strength of the other strong men was much weaker than Yechen. They did not feel Yechen's consciousness, but Joseph Love sensed it. Kill. The attacks of Yechen, Zi Lanyan, and Xuanhuan came instantly. The 3 attacked Joseph Love. No. Joseph Love dodged frantically. But Yechen and his strength were stronger than him, and not just a little bit stronger. Joseph Love could not avoid Yechen and his attacks at all. Yechen and his attack speed was too fast, and Joseph Love could not contact the other strong men to fight together. How could this happen? Such a thought flashed through Joseph Love's mind. He couldn't believe it. Yechen and his 3 terrible attacks. This means that 3 of Yechen and his men have reached the immortal level. Puff. Yechen and his terrifying power instantly destroyed Joseph Love's defense. The attack that exceeded Joseph Love's defense 10 times killed Joseph Love in a very short time. This dash. Some strong men from other forces stared with their eyes wide open. Joseph Love was killed right under their noses. The silver level God of War token burst out, but they didn't dare to collect it. Enemy attack. The second elder is dead, meet the enemy, meet the enemy. A strong man in the life and death hall shouted. Collect. Yechen's mind moved, and Joseph Love's body, treasures, and the silver level God of War token that burst out of his body were all collected by Yechen. Boom. The next second, the terrifying aura on Yechen's body burst out. The aura was too strong, like an abyss or a prison. Boom. Boom. Xuanhuan and Zi Lanyan also burst out with a strong momentum. 3 domineering auras enveloped the strongholds of the life and death hall's strongmen here. Thousands of strongmen at the level of the other shore flower were pressed to the ground. Some directly vomited blood and fainted. The strongmen at the level of the other shore flower are also masters with good strength, but their strength is too different from that of Yechen and others now. How to fight this? The top Liuli realm strongmen in the life and death hall were a little confused. Listen, all the strongmen in the hall of life and death. Surrender immediately. You may still live. If you dare to resist, you will be killed without mercy. Yechen's cold voice sounded. The next second, These strong men in the Hall of Life and Death felt that they were in the world of swords. Ye Chen used the 4 swords of Zhu Xian to set up a sword formation. I will give you 3 breaths to think about it. If you don't imprison your cultivation within 3 breaths, you will die. Ye Chen's indifferent voice sounded. Many strong men in the Hall of Life and Death quickly imprisoned their cultivation. The strongest Joseph Love was killed in seconds, and now they can't contact each other. They have no choice but to surrender. Alas! Forget it, surrender. The top Liulai realm strong men in the Hall of Life and Death also surrendered one after another. Ye Chen and his men were too powerful, and the formation they arranged felt extremely terrifying. They had no confidence in escaping. Collect. Soon, all the thousands of strong men in the Hall of Life and Death were received by Ye Chen in the Brahma Ring and imprisoned in different areas. Not to mention that their cultivation was imprisoned. Even if they were not there, they would not dare to make trouble. Hello everyone. Ye Chen, Zi Lanyan, and Xuanhuan entered the hall where Joseph Love was just now. There were more than a dozen strong men from other forces. They all had the strength of the top Liulai realm. Master Ye Chen. Seeing Ye Chen and his men enter, these strong men hurriedly greeted them. They were extremely nervous. Ye Chen sat down at the seat where Joseph Love had just sat. He glanced at the dozen strong men and smiled. Joseph Love invited you here, you are all big shots. The forces behind these dozen strong men are not weaker than Solomon. They are indeed very powerful. Lord Ye Chen, I dare not, I dare not. One of them hurriedly said. Ye Chen's face turned cold. I have said before that this is a matter between me and the Hall of Life and Death. You continue to interfere. Do you think that I dare not kill you? Everyone's face changed. Ye Chen dared to kill the strong men of the Hall of Life and Death, so how could he not dare to kill them? Lord Ye Chen, calm down, we are also willing to trade with you. Trade. Ye Chen raised his eyebrows. The strong man who just spoke hurriedly said, Lord Ye Chen, I was wrong, we will give it directly to you as compensation. That's right. The other strong men said one after another. Ye Chen nodded slightly, then I will give you half a year, the first 4 silver level war god tokens are valid. After 4, I will only accept gold level war god tokens. More than a dozen strong men secretly complained in their hearts. Now the probability of a silver level war god token appearing is very low, and it is not easy to get a silver level war god token. There are almost no gold level war god tokens at present. Why, judging from your expressions, is it difficult? Ye Chen raised his eyebrows. No, no. Everyone shook their heads. They felt that if they said half a no in their mouths, Ye Chen would kill them directly. Ye Chen smiled. In addition to the powerful war god token, I am interested in the system. You can think of a way in this regard. Lord Ye Chen, this is easy to say. Lord Ye Chen, we will do our best. More than a dozen strong men breathed a sigh of relief. In Death Paradise, there are many strong men who now have systems. As long as I stay in the Empress Palace, I am invincible. Author, New Di. Chapter 454. Among the thousands of powerful people in the Palace of Life and Death that Ye Chen had just captured, 5 had systems. The strong men who enter the Paradise of Death come from more than 2,000 higher universes. There are also strong people entering the medium universe. Even if no powerful person enters the medium universe and has a system, on average only 1 out of 10 universes in the high universe has a system. There are about 200 powerful people with systems here. A strong person with a system, if the other party has a good reputation, don't touch the other party. Ye Chen said softly. Yes, Master Ye Chen. A dozen strong men said in unison. Ye Chen stood up and said with a smile, everyone, please stay here for a while. There will be no problem if you send a message out. If you leave, the sword energy in your body will explode. Yachen said that more than a dozen powerful sword energies entered the bodies of these strong men and hid them. I will give you half a year, and then those who perform poorly will be eliminated. I will not be polite to the other powerful forces that have been eliminated. After saying that, Yechen's figure disappeared. A dozen strong men looked at me and I looked at you, their expressions were a little bitter. After receiving the news from the Palace of Life and Death, they came over to please the Palace of Life and Death, but they didn't expect to encounter such a bad thing. So many powerful people gathered here in the Palace of Life and Death, but they were easily captured by Yechen and the others. Everyone, we really shouldn't get involved in the matter between the Palace of Life and Death and Mr. Yechen. Someone spoke. That's right. The other strong men nodded. Yechen and the three of them actually already have immortal level cultivation, which is simply terrifying. Although the forces behind them are pretty good, they have fallen far behind. When gods fight, they brats will die miserably if they get involved. System, what kind of systems are the five of them? Yechen asked. The systems of the five powerful men in the Palace of Life and Death have been swallowed up by Yechen's system. But it hasn't been digested yet. The system said, host, two of the five of them have rubbish systems, one is the god of cooking system, and the other is the transformation system. Yechen curled his lips. In the city, the god of cooking system is pretty good. Transformation system, what the hell? For the top experts, there is no problem in ever changing things, but the transformation system is a tasteless thing. The other three systems are each a longevity system, which can recover or sell longevity. A fishing system for all heavens, you can catch all kinds of treasures. The other one is the summoning system. This ability can be superimposed with the original summoning ability. None of the five systems are very powerful. This is also normal. With a system, it is still within a force like the Palace of Life and Death. If the system is very strong, it may not be sent in this time. Powerful people like the Palace of Life and Death basically have the cosmic will order of the first line universe, or the cosmic will order deputy order. System, just digest them all. Yechen said in his mind. If it is a very powerful system, the limit is still high. Yechen wants Lanxiu and the others to have the system. Yechen doesn't think much of these five systems. Host, actually that fishing system is a bit interesting, maybe you can catch something pretty good. The system said. Yechen shook his head, I can get good things by just signing in. I want a system that can enhance the strength of Lan and the others. There are many people in Death Paradise who have systems, and Yechen doesn't believe that he can't find the right one. If there is no good thing, he would rather lack it than overfill it. Time passed day by day, and the system quickly digested the five systems it devoured. In 1 month, system digestion is completed. Yechen has been wandering around the Death Paradise for a month, and he discovered 7 powerful people with systems. Caught 5. The other 2 strong men with systems are pretty good. It is normal for the weak to prey on the strong in the training world, but Yechen has always had a bottom line when doing things. System, sign in 3 times. Yechen said in his mind. The 5 systems that the system has devoured this time will all use their power for summoning, and they should be able to obtain extremely good things. Sign in successfully, congratulations to the host for receiving a gift pack of 4-star immortal skills, which contains 5 3-star immortal skills. The technique is suitable for Lanxiu and the other 5 girls. Yechen smiled, the first reward was pretty good. Lanxiu hasn't broken through yet, Lu Qianqian hasn't been resurrected yet, and Luo Yudi is in the outside world, so they don't need it yet. But Shang Guanyan and Zi Lanyan, they can already use it. Shang Guanyan and Zi Lanyan now only have 1-star immortal skills. Although they are not holding back, they are still average. Sign-in is successful, congratulations to the host for getting a new sign-in point, 3-star immortal level. Yechen quickly said, system, Don't draw the third reward yet. The system said, host, do you want to use this check-in point? If you use it, you will be locked there. Yechen frowned secretly. This is a problem. He has to go around and look for other strong people with systems. Even if he ordered all the powerful people with the system to gather together, they would not obey. Most of the strong people who have a system, the rest don't even know they have a system. Or only a few people know about it. In addition, doing so can easily arouse public outrage. Host, this way of consuming strength to sign in will almost maximize the effect. It is okay if there is no sign-in point to accumulate luck. Yechen nodded slightly. 3-star immortal level sign-in points are indeed wasted if they cannot be used. Then continue. Sign-in successful, congratulations to the host for obtaining the 4-star immortal level soul fire, which can be used for the resurrected strong, without level restrictions. Yechen said in surprise, system, do you mean that this thing is suitable for people like Qian who are resurrected? Yes. As the system spoke, a lot of information flowed into Yechen's mind. The immortal soul fire can greatly enhance Lu Qinqin's soul during the resurrection process. Her talent will also be improved. There is a big possibility that Lu Qian will have the strength of the immortal level directly after resurrection. But this thing also has a bad point. If Lu Qian uses it, it will be much more difficult to break through the 4-star immortal in the future. 4-star immortality, that's a long time in the future. Don't worry about that for now. System, give it to Qian. Yechen ordered in his mind. The dark blue immortal soul fire went into the immortal soul tower. Lu Qian has not been resurrected yet, but her shadow has appeared. You can barely see Lu Qinqin's appearance. The dark blue immortal soul fire entered Lu Qinqin's body. Lu Qinqin's figure quickly became solid. The breath of life gradually emerged. Yechen looked at Lu Qian with great excitement. Lu Qian will be resurrected soon. 3 days passed. Lu Qian recovered completely, and her eyelashes trembled slightly. Qian. Yechen called. Lu Qian opened her eyes were a little confused, but soon, Lu Qinqin's eyes had a light. Master. I had a very long dream. Yechen stepped forward and hugged Lu Qian. It feels so good to regain what you have lost. Boom. In Yechen's arms, Lu Qian suddenly burst out with a powerful aura. She broke through. The power of the 4-star immortal soul fire is extremely strong. As long as I stay in the Empress Palace, I am invincible. Author, New Di. Chapter 455. Qian, you have reached the immortal level. You should seize the time to consolidate your cultivation. Yechen kissed Lu Qian and said. Lu Qian looked at Yechen in surprise. Yechen could easily bear the aura erupting from her body at close range. It means that Yechen should have reached the immortal level. Master, are you already immortal? Yes, Zilan and Yanner have also reached the immortal level. Yechen smiled. He let Lu Qian enter the time cube. Lan, Yanner, Lan Yin, Qian have been resurrected, and Qian has reached the immortal level. Now Qian is in seclusion to consolidate, you will be able to see her in a few days. Yechen sent a message to Enlangxiu and the others. Enlangxiu and the others were pleasantly surprised after receiving the news. Enlan, you have to work harder. Enlangxiu cheered for herself silently. Excluding Luo Hanjian and Luo Yudi who are not here, she is the only one among the 4 who has not broken through to the immortal level. System, we got 5 more systems. You devour them one by one, don't rush to digest them yet. Yechen said in his mind. Not long after, 5 systems were successfully swallowed by Yechen's system. Host, this time there is a system with great capabilities and potential. The remaining 4 systems are average. The system voice sounded. Oh? What system? Ye Chen quickly said in his mind. The host is an infinite strengthening system that can strengthen everything in the world. As long as the system has energy, both tangible and intangible things can be strengthened. Normally, you can strengthen treasures, strengthen skills, etc., to assist in training. During battle, you can strengthen attack and defense, and improve combat effectiveness. The system said. Ye Chen's eyes lit up. This system was pretty capable. System, what are its limits? The limits of the system are also important. Like the copying system, swallowing system, etc. that Ye Chen encountered before, the ability is actually very good, but the limit is low. Their limit is the level of the top glaze realm. Not to mention that it was useless to Lu Qianqian and the other 3 people who were already at the immortal level, but it was just average to Enlangxiu. Host, it is a top-notch immortal system. It used to be a coward, and even its owner didn't know how strong it was. The system said. Ye Chen was pleasantly surprised. The potential of the top immortal level was very strong. He got this system from a guy who only had the ultimate cultivation level of immortality. He simply failed to exert the system's capabilities. Enlan, please stop practicing for a while. Ye Chen sent a message to Enlangxiu. If this system were given to Zi Lanyan and the others, it would have better results in a short period of time, but this system would make it easier for Enlangxiu to break through. If Enlansweru breaks through to the immortal level, their overall strength will be greatly improved. Owner. Enlangxiu quickly arrived in front of Ye Chen. Enlan, I'll give you a good thing. Ye Chen smiled. Ye Chen's system quickly released the devoured system, and it obediently entered Enlangxiu's body and quickly began to recognize its master. This system and its original owner did not fully recognize the owner at all, and now it does not dare to be so perfunctory. If you don't obey, you will only be devoured. The limit of this system is the top immortal level. Ye Chen's own system has a limit even higher than the top immortal level. Master, this system is so powerful. Master, thank you. Enlangxiu said in surprise. She took the initiative to hug Ye Chen and gave her a sweet kiss. A few minutes passed before Ye Chen let go of Enlangxiu, whose face was red. Enlan, your system should have a lot of energy now, right? Ye Chen asked. Enlangxiu nodded. Her system worked hard for a long time and silently accumulated a lot of strength. Ye Chen said, you can use the system to strengthen your talents, and even enhance your success rate when making breakthroughs. You can definitely break through, don't feel any psychological pressure. Now among you, you are the only one who has the system, and your system is very strong. As long as you break through, you will be the strongest. Enlangxiu nodded. Master, then I'm going to practice. I will try to break through as early as possible. Then I can also help you, Master. Enlangxiu said softly. Ye Chen nodded. Enlangxiu quickly started practicing. Ye Chen went outside and continued to search for other systems. Every once in a while, Ye Chen will go to the former stronghold of the powerful in the Palace of Life and Death. More than a dozen top-notch glazed realm experts were always there. Ye Chen successfully obtained 4 silver-level God of War tokens from them. Everyone, I don't want silver-level God of War tokens anymore, I just want gold-level, purple gold-level God of War tokens. Or he is a strong man with a system. Ye Chen said calmly. There were more than a dozen strong men, 4 of whom were in a good mood. They got the silver-level God of War token and gave it to Ye Chen. The others groaned secretly. You should have captured some strong men with systems. If so, you can give them out now. Ye Chen said softly. One of the 4 strong men who gave the silver-level God of War token said, Master Ye Chen, can we leave now? Can. Ye Chen nodded. He withdrew the sword energy hidden in the bodies of these 4 strong men. Lord Ye Chen, goodbye. The 4 strong men left quickly. The rest of the strong men showed envy in their eyes. The forces behind them may not be weaker, but they were not so lucky to get the silver level God of War token. No way. Lord Yechen, how many systems can we leave if we trade you? One of the remaining strong men said. Yechen said in a calm voice, there is no quantity limit. One top quality system may be enough, and 100 garbage systems may not be enough. The value of the system you gave in the end, I will give you a fair judgment. The last one will be eliminated. The rest of the strong men in the force, I will not be polite. The remaining strong men were helpless. This is to make them crazy involution. Lord Yechen, I have 3 strong men with systems here. Lord Yechen, I have 2 here. I have 2 here too. Everyone spoke up. There were 9 of them in total, 7 of whom gave systems, a total of 15. There are still 7 strong men with systems that Yechen caught recently. These 7 have not been dealt with yet. Last time, after the system devoured and digested 4 systems, it chose to evolve the system, specifically to improve its attack capabilities. Give them to me. Yechen said in a calm voice. Yes. The 7 strong men all gave a space treasure, and the people they caught were inside. They didn't want the other party to know who they caught. Keep working hard. Falling behind means death. Yechen said indifferently. The 9 strong men nodded. In order to survive, they could only fight desperately. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. As long as I stay in the Empress Palace, I am invincible. Author, New Dit. Chapter 456. In the outside world, the powerful people in the Palace of Life and Death still don't know what's going on in the Paradise of Death. Strong men from other forces rushed to Tianxian Universe. Blue Flame Universe Thunder Roar, please see the Master of Life and Death Palace. I have important information to tell you. The strong man who arrived at Tianxian Universe rushed to the headquarters of the Palace of Life and Death as quickly as possible. His loud voice came out. Be brave. If you ask to see the Palace Master, you should inform according to the procedures. What does it look like to speak so wantonly and recklessly? A strong man from the Palace of Life and Death said sternly. Fellow Taoist, this is indeed an extremely important matter. Please inform fellow Taoist. Lei Xiao quickly raised his hands and said. Bring him here. The voice of the Master of the Hall of Life and Death came over. He was not practicing. He's been a little restless lately. Soon Lei Xiao arrived in front of the Master of Life and Death Hall. Greetings, my lord. Lei Xiao knelt down and said. He has the cultivation level of the top glazed realm, and his cultivation level is the same as that of the Master of Life and Death Hall, but he knows that his status is far different. The Lanyan universe is not even a first-line universe. That is, the second-tier universe like Kunpeng universe. Get up, what do you have to say? The Lord of the Palace of Life and Death said softly. Lei Xiao took a deep breath and said, Master of the Palace of Life and Death, one of my brothers has a cultivation level of Bianhua, and he entered the Paradise of Death. He has a communication system through which he can contact the outside world. He contacted me 3 months ago. Something happened to the strong men from the Palace of Life and Death to the Paradise of Death. They fell into Yechen's hands. A few days ago, he contacted me again and said that Yechen was arresting a powerful man with a system, and he was worried that he would not be able to escape. The face of the Master of Life and Death Palace changed. Are you sure? Lei Xiao nodded repeatedly. This is the news I got. By the way, my brother, there are hundreds of top glazed realm experts who have entered the Palace of Life and Death. The Master of the Life and Death Hall's heart sank. This is confidential information. The strong people who enter the Paradise of Death know it, but the strong people outside do not know it. Tell me all you know. Yes. Lei Xiao nodded respectfully and said, Ye Chen probably has immortal level cultivation. He first defeated 7 top glazed level experts in the Palace of Life and Death, and dozens of ordinary glazed level experts. Then we set traps and captured more powerful men from the Palace of Life and Death. He used those strong men to threaten the rest of the Palace of Life and Death so that they could not ask for help from other forces. There are more than 60 top glazed realm powerhouses left in the Palace of Life and Death, and many other powerhouses gathered together. They wanted to wait for a year to come, but the whole army was wiped out. The face of the Lord of Life and Death Palace became extremely ugly. They have dominated Sea Area 13 for a long time in the Palace of Life and Death, and have not suffered such humiliation for a long, long time. You're fine. If you want to join the Hall of Life and Death, I agree. Your brother, or others close to you, can also join the Hall of Life and Death by then. The Master of the Palace of Life and Death said in a deep voice. Thank you, Lord. Lei Xiao said happily. Isn't this why he came all this way and went through so much trouble? Although Ye Chen and the others had the upper hand in the Paradise of Death, Lei Xiao still had absolute confidence in the Palace of Life and Death. The Palace of Life and Death is the super overlord of Sea Area 13. There are many immortal level experts behind the Palace of Life and Death. It's just that they are usually in the Supreme Universe. After all, the Sky Universe is only a high-level universe, and the limit of heaven and earth is only the top glazed realm, which is inconvenient for immortal level experts. Immortal powerhouses who have some pursuits will enter the Supreme Universe to work hard. There are still 2 months until 1 year is up. Although time is tight, it is much better than not knowing the news until the end of the matter. The eyes of the Master of Life and Death Palace flickered. In the Paradise of Death. Host, there is a communication system here. It is possible that the news inside has been spread to the outside world. The system reminded Ye Chen. His system upgrade is complete. Ye Chen has captured more than 30 powerful people who own the system. He himself gained something, but most of it was done by the strong men from other forces. Who owns the communication system? Ye Chen asked. The system told Ye Chen, and soon a powerful person at the level of Bianhua arrived in front of Ye Chen. Have you contacted the outside world? Ye Chen asked, his voice carrying hypnotic power. With Ye Chen's current strength that has increased 300 times to the top Liulai realm, people at the level of Higanbana simply cannot resist his hypnosis. Yes. The other party's eyes were dull. Ye Chen frowned slightly. Did you tell the powerful outsiders about the situation here? What kind of person did you contact? After Ye Chen asked, the other party explained in detail. I contacted the outside world 3 months ago, and the person I contacted was a top-notch Liulai realm expert. Calculating the time, the Palace of Life and Death may have received the news. Ye Chen secretly thought. If their strength has not been greatly enhanced, such news is not good news for Ye Chen and the others. There will definitely be more powerful people entering the Palace of Life and Death. Maybe there will be immortal level experts. Now for Ye Chen, the pressure is not that great. Xuanhuan, Zi Lanyan, and Lu Qianqian all already have immortal level cultivation, and they have also refined and obtained silver level God of War tokens. With their strength increased 5-fold, they have 70 or 80 times the strength of the top glazed realm. The treasures they have now can be upgraded. The stronger the treasures are, the stronger their combat power will be. System, you devour all the systems they have. See if there are any good systems among them. Ye Chen said in his mind. Good host. Half a month later, the system devoured all the 30 systems. Host, these 30 systems are relatively ordinary, and the system with the highest potential has only reached the 3-star immortal level. The voice of the system sounded in Ye Chen's mind. Ye Chen was not too surprised. It was great luck to encounter a top immortal system in the previous few systems. It is normal that there is no top system in the 30 systems. System, you digest the power of these 30 systems, and I will keep all of them for signing in. I will find a way to get the power you need for system evolution later. Ye Chen said in his mind. Okay. The system also knew that many strong men in the Hall of Life and Death would enter the Death Paradise in a short time. The stronger Ye Chen and his men were, the better. Gradually, the time was approaching a year. A large number of strong men from the Hall of Life and Death gathered outside. Here we go. Right now. And Langxia burst out with a strong aura. She was enveloped in an endless divine light. Although her aura when she broke through was not as strong as Ye Chen's, it was much stronger than Zi Lanyan and the others' aura when they broke through. Master, I broke through to the immortal level. And Langxia transmitted the message. Ye Chen smiled. And Langxia's breakthrough was timely. Tomorrow is the day when the 1-year period expires. And Langxia's breakthrough at this time means that they have no obvious shortcomings. Time quickly came to the second day. Under the million-fold time acceleration, and Langxia's cultivation was consolidated a lot. Here at the Life and Death Hall, a large number of strong men gathered. Hong Gongsheng, please help. Get rid of Ye Chen and the other rats as soon as possible. The Lord of the Life and Death Hall said in a deep voice. The silver-robed middle-aged man in front of him nodded slightly. His aura was not weaker than that of the Lord of the Life and Death Hall. This silver-robed middle-aged man was an immortal-level strong man. He felt that his chances of rising were not great, so he simply stayed in the sky universe to enjoy life. He had reached the 1-star immortal level a long time ago, and he also had a system. Palace Master, don't worry, with our strength, there will be no problem in dealing with Ye Chen and the others. The great elder of the Life and Death Palace smiled and said that he would also enter this time. Although he did not reach the immortal level, he took a powerful immortal treasure from the Life and Death Palace. Yes. The Lord of the Life and Death Palace nodded slightly. He was still very confident. A total of 400 top-level Liulai Realm Masters entered the Life and Death Palace this time. 3,000 ordinary Liulai Realm Masters. 20,000 to 30,000 masters of the other shore level, and nearly 1 million masters of the Changshengju and Hongchen levels. The total number exceeded 1 million. As long as I stay in the Empress Palace, I am invincible. Author, New Di. Chapter 457. In the Paradise of Death, there were only 300 to 400 powerful people at the top level of Glazed Realm who entered. In the second round of the Palace of Life and Death, 400 powerful men at the top Glazed Realm level will directly enter. In addition, in the first round of the Hall of Life and Death, there were no mortal immortals or immortal level characters entering, but now many have entered. The team leader is still an immortal level strongman, and the Great Elder also brought immortal level treasures. In order to suppress Ye Chen and the others, the Master of Life and Death Palace also risked his life. This kind of power is basically the limit that can be mobilized temporarily. Hong Zhongfeng, Great Elder, if there is still a problem, tell Ye Chen that more immortal level experts will enter our Palace of Life and Death next year. The Master of the Palace of Life and Death said in a deep voice. Hong Gongfeng frowned and said, Palace Master, we understand what you mean, threaten Ye Chen and try to let us survive. But Palace Master, you are worrying too much, we can definitely win. Many other powerful men from the Palace of Life and Death spoke one after another. Everyone is full of confidence. With such strength, how could they lose? Ye Chen's immortal level strength is powerful, but there are also immortal level experts among them. It won't take long for them to get the powerful God of War token inside. Palace Master, don't worry, we will definitely win. Can Ye Chen and the rest of them still reach the immortal level? The Great Elder of the Palace of Life and Death smiled. That's certainly impossible. The Master of the Palace of Life and Death smiled lightly. If it were so easy to reach the immortal level, it would be impossible for him to still be at the top immortal level now. Talent, skills, environment, and resources are all indispensable. How could the master of the Life and Death Hall know that Ye Chen and the others were really not in short supply? In terms of talents, Ye Chen and the others improved quickly and their talents were strong. They also used Chaos Pill. In terms of skills, they all have immortal level skills that suit them. In terms of environment, the Beauty Palace is now at the 3-star immortal level, the Brahma Ring is also at the 3-star immortal level, and the Time Cube is also at the 3-star immortal level. Not to mention resources. Immortal enlightenment pills are extremely precious, and Enlangxiu and the others have eaten more than one. Lu Qianqian and Enlangxiu might have needed a lot of time to break through, but one of them got the 4-star immortal soul fire. Another got a powerful system. The time has come, Palace Master, take your leave. Hong Gongfeng said in a deep voice. Millions of powerful men in the Palace of Life and Death disappeared. When they reappeared, they were already in the Palace of Life and Death. Hope everything goes well. The master of the Palace of Life and Death thought secretly. If you don't count the immortal level experts, the experts who entered the Paradise of Death account for half of the experts in the Palace of Life and Death. If so many strong men were lost in the Paradise of Death, their vitality in the Palace of Life and Death would be severely damaged. Even if Ye Chen and the others are solved by then, whether they can control the situation in the entire Sea Area 13 is a serious question. Palace Master, there will definitely be no problem. Yes, Palace Master, don't worry too much. Other forces have produced some powerful figures in the past. Didn't they all die in the end? Several strong men around the Lord of Life and Death said. The Lord of the Palace of Life and Death nodded slightly. Let's get the God of War token first. Let's divide into several groups and don't be too far away from each other. If you get the God of War token, give it to me first. Hong Gongfeng said in a deep voice. Good. The great elder of the Hall of Life and Death nodded, and soon they formed several small teams for action. From the other forces, it didn't take long for them to get a bronze token. Even if all the first batch of strong men who entered the Palace of Life and Death fell, many other forces still believed in the strength of the Palace of Life and Death. For a long time, the Palace of Life and Death has been the sole overlord of Sea Area 13. Call. Hong Zhongfeng was an immortal level expert, and he soon refined the bronze level God of War token he obtained. He originally had about 40 times the strength of the top glazed realm. Bronze level God of War tokens can be increased 3 times. His strength has reached 160 times the level of the top glazed realm. Hong Feng, we are safe now. That's right. Several strong men around Hong Gongfeng said with a smile. They were much relieved. Even if Ye Chen is stronger than Hong Chongfeng, they believe he won't be much stronger. Hong Gongfeng said in a deep voice, according to the information obtained, Ye Chen must have a silver level God of War token. Let's hurry up and get a silver level God of War token first. Yes. On Ye Chen's side, he knew that a large number of powerful people must have entered the Palace of Life and Death. However, Death Paradise is very big. Although he is strong, he doesn't know where Hong Zhongfeng and the others are in a short period of time. Ye Chen is not in a hurry to find Hong to worship them. Improving your own strength is the most important thing. System, sign in 3 times and consume 1/3 of the swallowed power. Ye Chen said in his mind. Recently his system has devoured more than 30 systems. 1/3 of the force is already powerful. In the past 3 months, Ye Chen planned to check in once a month. With the power of devouring, even if the interval is shorter, he will definitely be able to obtain quite good treasures. If Ye Chen consumes all his power to sign in at once, he may be able to get a higher level treasure, but he may not be able to use such a treasure. Good host. The system said. This is the core area of Death Paradise. I hope I can get good rewards. Ye Chen secretly thought. With his current strength that is 300 times that of the top glazed realm, there is no problem in reaching the core area of Death Paradise. Sign in successfully. Congratulations to the host for receiving a gift pack of 4-star immortal treasures, including 5 3-star immortal attack treasures. 4 of them are suitable for Enlangxiu and the other 4 girls. Ye Chen had a smile on his face. Enlangxiu and the other 4 girls can now barely recognize the owner of a 3-star immortal treasure. After recognizing their master, their attack power can be greatly increased. Coupled with the amplification effect of the silver level token, their strength here can skyrocket. Sign in successfully. Congratulations to the host for obtaining a 4-star immortal training tower. Practicing in the training tower will have better training results. Sign in successfully. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the 3-star immortal sword bamboo. 2 more great rewards. But it's normal to have such a reward. Earning these 3 awards scrapped more than a dozen systems. If the reward is not generous, it will not be worthy of anyone. Enlan, please stop practicing for a while. Ye Chen sent a message to Enlangxiu and the others. Not long after, Enlangxiu and the other 4 girls appeared next to Ye Chen. Each of the 4 girls was stunning. They are all top beauties to begin with. As their cultivation improves, their appearance and temperament will also improve. Wives, you have all reached the level of immortality. It's time to change your treasures. Ye Chen smiled. He said that 4 3-star immortal treasures appeared in front of Enlangxiu and the others. Master, thank you. Husband, thank you. Enlangxiu and the other 4 girls said in surprise. Identifying the owner of a 2-star immortal treasure can double their strength. 3-star immortal treasures can definitely double their strength. Such a treasure is too powerful, and they can only exert a small part of its power. When they recognize the owner of the treasure, they will not be much weaker than Ye Chen in terms of attack power. However, there is still a certain gap between them and Ye Chen in terms of overall strength. As long as I stay in the Empress Palace, I am invincible. Author, New Di. Chapter 458. Enlangxiu and the others started practicing quickly, and they tried their best to make the treasure recognize the master. Ye Chen continued to look for other strong people with systems. Master, the effect of practicing here is much better. Husband, I feel that the practice is much faster. Enlangxiu and the others sent a message to Ye Chen. They are now in the practice tower they just signed in to get. The effect of the 4-star immortal level practice tower is naturally very good. Half a month passed in a blink of an eye. Ye Chen found several strong people with systems. The strong people of the Life and Death Hall have obtained the first silver level God of War token. This God of War token naturally fell into the hands of Hong Gongsheng. A few days later, Hong Gongsheng refined this token. The Great Elder of the Life and Death Hall also refined a silver level God of War token at this time. Hong Gongsheng, I plan to use the curse magic platform, what do you think? The Great Elder of the Life and Death Hall asked. Hong Gongfeng said, Grand Elder, are you going to curse Ye Chen? The Grand Elder of the Hall of Life and Death shook his head, of course not. Ye Chen is very likely to have immortal strength. Although our strength is very strong, the possibility of cursing him is low. I plan to curse one of Ye Chen's women. The death of one of his daughters can show how powerful our Hall of Life and Death is. He will not dare to act recklessly next time. The Grand Elder of the Hall of Life and Death did not know the soul breath of Enlangxiu and others. They also did not know the names of Enlangxiu and others. But Enlangxiu and others all have the Universal Order of the Titan Universe, or the Deputy Order of the Universal Order. Through this, they can successfully launch a curse. Whether it can succeed depends on the ability of both parties. Grand Elder, are you sure you don't want to wait any longer? If we wait for a while, we will have more strong people who get the God of War token. Hong Gongfeng asked. The great elder of the Hall of Life and Death said in a deep voice, but after a while, Ye Chen's chance of obtaining the gold level God of War token will be greatly increased. The chance of using treasures to curse successfully will be reduced. Hong Gongshen nodded slightly. That's true. The power of the cursed treasures they brought in will not be increased. Even if they are stronger, at most the treasures will burst out with double the power. The great elder smiled and said, there is another point. If one of them dies, their cultivation will be affected. One has died before. If another one dies, Ye Chen's mentality will collapse. Hong Gongshen nodded slightly, then just do it. Soon they sacrificed the curse magic platform. The power of many powerful people in the Hall of Life and Death poured into the curse magic platform. The curse magic platform lit up. This thing can be cursed remotely. Although the death paradise is large, it does not exceed the attack range of the curse magic platform. This time, the target locked by the curse magic platform is Xuanhuan. Because Xuanhuan is the weakest among the four women. Enlangxia got a powerful system, Lu Qianqian got a 4-star immortal soul fire, and Zi Lanyan was originally stronger. Although Xuanhuan was the first to reach the immortal level, she is indeed the weakest among the four women. The powerful curse power crossed the space to Ye Chen and his team in a very short time. The curse magic platform used by the Life and Death Hall is a 3-star heavenly level treasure. Very strong. Coupled with the cooperation of many other strong men in the Life and Death Hall, the initial attack power reached 500 times the top Liulai realm level. It reached twice its normal full-strength burst power. The distance is far, and the power of the curse attack is reduced to only 400 times after crossing the long distance to Ye Chen and his team. Huh! Ye Chen was shocked. He felt this evil and powerful curse power. Its target is not himself. Ha! Ye Chen's powerful power surged, but he acted hastily and only weakened the strength of the top Liulai realm by about 50 times. The remaining power is still very strong. There are still 350 times. At this time, the curse power hit the defense of the Brahma ring. Although the Brahma ring is mainly used for concealment and trapping enemies, it is a 3-star immortal level treasure after all, and its defense is not weak. The Brahma ring weakened the strength of the top Liulai realm by 70 to 80 times. There are still 270 to 80 times left. At this time, the Hanjian Palace was already on full alert. The curse power broke through Ye Chen's defense and the defense of the Brahma ring. It took more or less some time, enough for the Hanjian Palace to defend well. The power of the Hanjian Palace in this aspect is much stronger than the Brahma ring. It directly weakened the strength of the top Liulai realm by 200 times. There are only 70 to 80 times left. This power is actually not weak. But it was directly blocked by the 4-star immortal level training tower. The ability of the training tower in this aspect is not the main thing, but after all, it is a 4-star heavenly level treasure, and the defense will not be bad. It's better to attack me than to attack Lan and the others. Ye Chen muttered in his heart. He is 300 times stronger than the top Liulai realm, and such a strong curse power is enough to seriously injure him. But to kill him, such a curse power is impossible. On the side of the Life and Death Hall, the attack was launched, and the elders of the Life and Death Hall didn't know whether it was successful, but they didn't suffer any backlash. This is their curse magic platform. Everyone, the curse attack was successfully launched. We should have successfully killed Ye Chen's woman. We killed one before, and there are only 2 left out of 4. It shouldn't take long before Ye Chen will negotiate with us. The great elder of the Life and Death Hall smiled. It only takes 1 month for the curse demon platform to be full of power again, and they can launch an attack again. The great elder of the Life and Death Hall thinks that if Ye Chen doesn't want his woman to continue to die, he should contact them, the Life and Death Hall. In this way, they can take the initiative in the negotiation. Through the Life and Death Hall, it is possible to take down more powerful people with systems? Ye Chen's eyes flashed. The Life and Death Hall is now attacking remotely, and he can use the same trick against them. Listen, people of the Palace of Life and Death. A large number of you are in my hands. If you continue to mess around, I will perish with you. If you don't mess around, I can give you a chance to redeem your own people. You can trade with me with the strong who have the system. For the top Liuli realm level strong, one trades for 3. For ordinary Liuli realm level strong, one trades for 5 strong of the same level. Below Liuli realm, one trades for 10. Ye Chen's voice spread far away. It is naturally unlikely that his voice will reach the ears of the strong of the Palace of Life and Death directly, but many other strong people can hear it. It won't take long for the news to reach the ears of the strong of the Palace of Life and Death. Taking down the strong with the system of other forces can be exchanged for 3 to 10 strong of the same level of their own forces. Will they do it? Using their toes to think, Ye Chen thinks they must be tempted. If they are tempted, they will take action. The Palace of Life and Death is fearless in the number 13C area. They are not afraid of offending other forces. Ye Chen is scared. He probably wants to improve his strength in this way and survive for 3 years. 2 days later, the strong men of the Hall of Life and Death got the news. The elders of the Hall of Life and Death were all in a good mood. Since Ye Chen is scared, their attack must have worked. They can rescue their people first, and then find a way to kill Ye Chen. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. As long as I stay in the Empress Palace, I am invincible. Author, New Di. Chapter 459. Hong Gong said, we can let all forces help us capture the strong who have the system? The elder of the Hall of Life and Death nodded. If Ye Chen does this, many other forces will not cooperate at all. The Hall of Life and Death has such power. Soon, the elder of the Hall of Life and Death, Hong Gong, and others appeared in public. The probability that Ye Chen and his team are here is extremely low. Hong Gong and his team do not think that their strength is weak now. Boom. All the millions of immortal level strongmen of the Hall of Life and Death appeared. More than 400 top-level Liuli realm strongmen all exuded a strong aura. So many strongmen came into the Hall of Life and Death. More than 400 top-level Liuli realm. There were some strongmen from other forces nearby, and they were extremely shocked. The elder of the Hall of Life and Death stood up. He raised his voice and said, everyone, this time, our Life and Death Hall has more than 400 top-level Liuli realm masters. The total number exceeds 1 million. All parties need to strictly cooperate with the actions of our Life and Death Hall. Now our Life and Death Hall needs to use the masters with the system to exchange for the masters of our Life and Death Hall from Ye Chen. I hope everyone can help. I hope the masters with the system will take the initiative to stand up. If you trade it to Ye Chen only wants the system, and you may not have to die. If you don't cooperate with our Life and Death Hall, you will die in the future. And it may bring disaster to your family. In order to save the masters captured by the Life and Death Hall, the great elder of the Life and Death Hall is now unceremonious. There is no doubt that doing so will disgust many forces, but he doesn't care. The rest of the masters of the Life and Death Hall don't care either. As long as the strength of the Life and Death Hall is strong enough, those forces dare not have any opinions at all. On the contrary, no matter how kind they are, if their strength decreases, many forces will definitely be ready to move. Everyone, if you capture a strong person with a system and give it to our Life and Death Hall, you can exchange it for benefits, or you can choose to join our Life and Death Hall. If you don't want anything, our Life and Death Hall owes you a favor. The great elder of the Life and Death Hall continued. The eyes of some strong men around him lit up. Joining the Life and Death Hall, or getting a favor from the Life and Death Hall, the benefits are not small. Everyone, our Life and Death Hall will have 10 top-level Liuli realm strongmen wandering around openly, and you can trade with them. Fellow deist Yechen, you can also find them and trade with them when the time comes. I hope you keep your promise. The great elder of the Life and Death Hall disappeared after speaking. The vast majority of the other strongmen also disappeared. Only 10 top-level Liuli realm strongmen remained in place. Although they have not yet obtained the silver-level God of War token, they have all obtained a bronze-level God of War token, which can triple their strength. Everyone, we will be distributed throughout the Death Paradise. Welcome to trade with you. One of the strong men raised his voice. No problem. If we catch a strong man with the system, we will definitely trade. The voices of the strong men from other forces came from afar. The news here spread to the entire Death Paradise at a very fast speed. The appeal and deterrence of the Life and Death Hall are very strong. In just a few days, many people took the initiative to find the 10 strong men in the Life and Death Hall. They have the system. If you take the initiative to stand up, the system will give it to you, and you will probably still be able to survive. If you don't take the initiative and get caught, you will die, and your family will be implicated. System, sign in 3 times. Another month has passed. 1/3 of the power was consumed before, and 2/3 are left. Under the million-fold time acceleration, Enlangsu and the others have made the treasure recognize the master. Their attack power has been greatly improved. Sign in successfully. Congratulations to the host for obtaining a 4-star immortal treasure gift package, which contains 5 3-star immortal defense treasures. 4 of them are suitable for Enlangsu and the other 4 girls, and 1 is suitable for you, the host. Yechen showed a deep smile on his face. His Chaos Battle body has good defense, but he actually lacks top-notch defensive treasures. Xuanhuan Palace and Brahma Ring are not special defensive treasures. System, good, you are now a mature system. Yechen said with a smile in his mind. System. In fact, this is mainly because it has swallowed enough system power. Yechen's system may increase the chance of a certain reward. Otherwise, the attack treasure gift package before, and now the defense treasure gift package, how could it be so coincidental? Sign in successfully. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the 3-star immortal level Tongtian sword bamboo. Yechen nodded slightly. The value of this reward is not that high, but the effect is still good. I got 1 plant before. Add up to 2 3-star immortal level Tongtian sword bamboo. They cannot use the God of War token to increase their strength, but they themselves have 250 times the top level of Liuli realm. Hong Gongshen's current strength is not as good as them. Sign in successfully. Congratulations to the host Eternal Red Dust Rope for upgrading to the 5-star immortal level. The host can use the Eternal Red Dust Rope to make his clone come to Luo Hongjian's side. You can also make Luo Hongjian's clone come here. Yechen was ecstatic. He actually got a 5-star immortal level reward. And the reward actually has such an effect. Even if only the clone can get over, or Luo Hongjian's clone can come over, it's still pretty good. System, give you a thumbs up. System, strengthen the red dust cord immediately. Hongqianchuo is now only a 1-star immortal grade. Although it is also very good, compared with the 5-star immortal grade, the gap is more than 500 times. Strengthening completed. The system said after half a minute. In an instant, Yechen clearly sensed Luo Hongjian's existence through Hongqianchuo. On the Hongmen universe side, Luo Hongjian didn't feel Yechen's presence, but there was something strange in her heart. It was as if Yechen was by his side. Husband, are you okay now? I miss you so much. Luo Hongjian murmured to herself. The next second, Luo Hongjian felt the call. A ray of her mind crossed endless time and space through the world of mortals and came to Yechen's side. Beauty. Ye Chen said with a trembling voice, he saw this clone of Luo Hongjian. Husband. Luo Hongjian looked at Ye Chen with great surprise. The next second Luo Hongjian pounced on Ye Chen. Ye Chen opened his arms. But Luo Hongjian rushed to nothing. What came to Luo Hongjian was just a simple clone, without entity. Ye Chen's powerful power quickly poured into Luo Hongjian's clone. Luo Hongjian's clone quickly solidified. Beauty. Ye Chen and Luo Hongjian finally hugged each other. Through the connection with Hung Chinchuo, Luo Hongjian's true self can know the situation here. Tears appeared in Luo Hongjian's eyes. Husband, I miss you so much, and I also miss Lan and the others. Luo Hongjian said. Ye Chen didn't say much to her for the time being. Ye Chen lowered his head and kissed her. After a long time, Ye Chen let go. Host, each time you are summoned, you can only last half an hour. Only once a month. The system's voice sounded in Ye Chen's mind. Ye Chen was quite satisfied, half an hour was not a short time. The previous communication was cut off in a minute or two. Hongjian, I have something to tell you. Ye Chen said hesitantly. Zi Lanyan's matter must be confessed to Luo Hongjian. As long as I stay in the Empress Palace, I am invincible. Author, New Di. Chapter 460. Luo Hongjian looked at Ye Chen and frowned slightly. She was summoned to leave. Could it be that Ye Chen found a few more women? Husband, are Chang'e and the others here? Don't say anything, just ask Chang'e and the others to come over. Luo Hongjian hummed. Ye Chen smiled bitterly in his heart. Luo Hongjian guessed what he was going to say at once. Chang Le is not here, but Lan and the others are. Ye Chen sent a message to Lanxiu and the others. Soon Lanxiu, Lu Qianqian, and Shang Guanyan appeared. They were extremely surprised to see Luo Hongjian. Husband, please go and take a rest first. Luo Hongjian glanced at Ye Chen and said. Ye Chen reluctantly left, and Lanxiu and the others reminisced with Luo Hongjian for a while. Lan, how many new sisters has your husband found? Luo Hongjian asked. Mistress, just one. Lanxiu said. Luo Hongjian was a little surprised. One. That's not a lot. Lanxiu said, Mother, there are some reasons for this matter. I will tell you in detail. Luo Hongjian nodded. Lanxiu explained it quickly and in detail. Luo Hongjian chuckled and said, in this way, I did blame my husband a little bit, but he married a beautiful woman who is the most powerful in the country and took advantage of it. I am wrong to blame him. Is Zi Lanyan here? Call me Zi Lanyan. Lanxiu immediately sent a message to Zi Lanyan. After receiving the news, Zi Lanyan's face changed slightly, and she was extremely worried. She knew that although she had a certain relationship with Ye Chen, the relationship was far from comparable to the relationship between Luo Hongjian and Ye Chen. Luo Hongjian's attitude is so important. Sister Lan, what do you think of the mistress? Zi Lanyan asked anxiously through the voice message. Come here at ease. The mistress is quite nice. Lanxiu said in a message. Zi Lanyan felt much more at ease. She arrived at Luo Hongjian's place. Lanyan pays homage to the mistress. Zi Lanyan said that she was about to kneel down and salute. She has been a wealthy person since she was a child, and it can be said that she is much more valuable than Luo Hongjian. In order to prevent Luo Hongjian from rejecting her, she can't control that much now. Sister Lanyan, you don't have to be like this. Luo Hongjian quickly supported Zi Lanyan and said. Sister Lanyan, I have heard about what happened between you and your husband. From your father's perspective, it is understandable that he would do that for his daughter. From your perspective, you didn't do anything wrong. It's you and your husband who are destined to be together. Luo Hongjian smiled and said, Sister Lanyan, Lan, you are now at the immortal level, and your strength is actually much better than mine. From now on, don't call me mistress, call me sister. Xuanhuan was extremely happy. Luo Hongjian accepted herself. She has always been very worried that Luo Hongjian would not be able to accept her. Elder sister. The four women said in unison. Luo Hongjian smiled and nodded, you all have immortal level cultivation now and are powerful. Take care of Chang Li when the time comes. And Langxiu and the others nodded quickly. The girls talked for a while, and then Ye Chen was called over by Luo Hongjian. Seeing their harmonious appearance, Ye Chen secretly breathed a sigh of relief. Husband, your performance over the years has been pretty good, so you can barely pass. Luo Hongjian smiled. Although she said she passed the test, she was actually quite satisfied in her heart. Except for Xuanhuan by chance, Ye Chen never found another woman. Hongjian, tell me about your situation. Ye Chen smiled. Luo Hongjian described some situations after entering Hongmeng universe. She hasn't had that much experience. As we chatted, half an hour passed before we knew it. Luo Hongjian's conscious clone returned to her own body through the eternal world of mortals. Except for Chang'e, my husband, and the rest of them have already reached the immortal level. Chang Li is also at the top glazed realm level of strength. I have to work hard. Luo Hongjian thought to herself. She is now still a hair away from the top level of glazed glass realm. Outside world. Hey, why is there a universe there? It's July universe, the July universe that Solomon summoned before. The form is similar to July universe, but is July universe so strong? That's right, July universe is definitely not that strong. Not far from the Titan universe, many people were talking on a battleship. Not long after, the news reached the Titan universe. Casa Supreme was long dead, but most of Solomon's people were not. There are still some people who are secretly loyal to Casa Supreme. The one coming here must be July universe. July universe is growing so fast. I think there is only one possibility. I also guessed that Ye Chen comes from July universe. In the Titan universe, many powerful people were talking about it. There are powerful men from the Palace of Life and Death here, and their faces are ugly. Many of the powerful men who were captured in their Palace of Life and Death at the beginning probably died in the July universe. Ye Chen and the others have now been summoned to the Paradise of Death. July universe should not have much power now. This is a rare opportunity. Some of Solomon's strong men and some of the strong men here in the Palace of Life and Death immediately took action. They enter the July universe from different places. Ye Chen is not here, and Langxiu and the others are also in the Death Paradise now. They think that with their strength, there will be no problem in entering the July universe. In the July universe, Luo Yudi is quietly practicing in the Tianyang Imperial Palace. Xiao Lu is now in the Tianyang Imperial Palace. In the Fengming Palace, Luo Yudi is quietly practicing. Without amplification, Luo Yudi is now twice as strong as the top Liulai realm. In the July universe, her strength can be amplified 7 times. It can reach the level of 16 times the top Liulai realm. In the Death Paradise, this strength is not very strong, but in the July universe, this is already extremely terrifying. An ordinary top Liulai realm level strongman, entering the July universe, only has 1% of his strength. It is just the level of the top Chang Shengju. Luo Yudi opened her eyes. She only has the Deputy Order of the Universal Order, and the sensing range cannot reach the entire July universe, but her strength is good, and the sensing range can reach 1/10. Many strong men from the outside world entered from different places, and some of them were within Luo Yudi's sensing range. Xiao Lu, I'm going out for a while. You stay at home. Luo Yudi said. As long as Xiao Lu moves, his strength will be greatly reduced. If he stays here, Xiaolu is a 3-star immortal level strong man. With Xiaolu staying at the Tianyang Imperial Palace, the Tianyang dynasty will not have any problems. My husband said before that all the guys who enter should be killed directly. Luo Yudi muttered in her heart. Using space jump, her figure disappeared, and when she appeared again, she was not far away from several strong men. How many of you entered? What's the situation in the outside world now? Luo Yudi immediately hypnotized one of the strong men, whose strength was weaker. As for the others, Luo Yudi killed them directly. Soon Luo Yudi got some information. Not many strong men entered. But it will take some effort to enter in a dispersed manner and clean them up. Luo Yudi said in her heart. As time went by, the strong men who entered the July universe were constantly dealt with by Luo Yudi. If Luo Yudi was at the top level of Liulai realm, it would be difficult to deal with them in a short time. After a long time, they have adapted to the environment here. But Luo Yudi has 16 times the strength of the top level of Liulai realm. Even if the other strong men who entered were well hidden, it would be difficult for Luo Yudi not to discover them.